Is there a use in the treatment of mental illness, depression, OCD, anxiety disorders? Does it improve creativity? Does it increase productivity? Does it do all of these cool things that it's claimed to do? Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to Weekly Willy Nilly. Today, I'm going to talk about some illicit substances. So, on this channel, we have focused mainly on recovery and addiction and things of that nature. I'm going to kind of twist it up a little bit today. I want to talk about microdosing. And you can microdose any drug or substance. You could microdose caffeine, you could microdose LSD, psilocybin, so on and so forth. I want to let everybody know that I do not condone the use of psychedelics. I don't condone the use of any drug, so to speak. It could give you some serious repercussions. But I do want to talk about the scientific backing of microdosing versus the non scientific backing of microdosing. Is microdosing psilocybin a scam? So, what is microdosing? Microdosing means that you're taking a small, much smaller dose than what is normally dosed. So, for psilocybin, a regular recreational dose would be approximately 2,000 milligrams. I'm talking about taking 100 to 250 milligrams. Instead of 1 to 3 grams, we're talking like a tenth or a 20th of what a regular dose typically is. The point of microdosing is getting the benefits of the alkaloid, but not feeling the physiological effects. We don't want to trip. I don't want to trip. And, is there a use in the treatment of mental illness, depression, OCD, anxiety disorders? Does it improve creativity? Does it increase productivity? Does it do all of these cool things that it's claimed to do? So now that we know what microdosing is, how does psilocybin affect the brain? Basically, what it does is it creates neuroplasticity. We talked about this in episode like 1 or 2 or something. It allows different regions or different lobes of your brain to communicate in new ways. Psilocybin and serotonin are very, very similar molecularly. They also attach to the same receptors, the serotonin receptors. But the main difference between serotonin and psilocybin is the length that they stay attached. It takes longer for the psilocybin to actually break off of or detach from the receptor. Again, I have to say, I do not condone the use of drugs. A lot of bad things can come from that. Addiction, dependency. However, if there is medicinal properties that can help with OCD, anxiety, depression, ADHD, ADD, all of these things that are treated with medication that is very, very harmful, that has side effects that could kill other parts of your body. I mean, it's just, the deal. Pharmaceuticals have side effects. Side effects are not fun. Why not avoid them if we can? So my thought is, especially if you can take, say, and I'm not claiming that this is what they're saying or scientifically this is what's working, but if you could take a recreational dose of psilocybin and do that maybe once every month or once every 6 months versus taking a pill every day that is killing your liver or affecting your muscles, or there's so many different side effects, create stomach cramps, whatever the case may be. What would you rather do? And I'm talking not all willy-nilly, I'm talking like scientifically monitored and in a safe space, medically provided, right? What would you rather do? I would rather do the psilocybin if it was that beneficial. So with that being said, a recreational dose of like 1 to 3 grams, which is close to 2,000 milligrams of psilocybin, has been scientifically proven to help with depressive disorders, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, all of these things. All of these things that are on the rise. All of these things that need attention. It's scientifically proven. What about microdosing? Can you do this, every couple days? Usually microdosing is every third day. you take a fraction of a recreational dose. What I'm reading when I'm researching this topic is recreational doses are having significant leaps and bounds. Scientifically, microdosing, not so much. I think the common theme is the variables are just too broad, or it's just too broad of a topic to study in order to see if it is actually improving. Reason being, so LSD, I know it's not psilocybin, but LSD, they did a double-blind controlled study to see if it actually helped. So, you got the placebo, you got the real thing, there were 3 groups, 13 micrograms, 26 micrograms, and placebo. Everybody thought they felt it. Everybody thought that they benefited from each dose, whether it be the placebo, 26 microgram dose, the 13 microgram dose. Everybody was in conclusion that yes, it's mood improvement, it's increased productivity and creativity. The placebos performed just as well as both of the actual doses in that double-blind study. Now that was LSD. Psilocybin, on the other hand, hasn't had a double-blind study. In my personal opinion, that's the problem. The testing that they have done on psilocybin, or psilocin, everybody knew they were microdosing. So at that point, it's kind of like positive affirmations and positive mindset, and I think that study was botched from the get-go because everybody knew they were microdosing. In that particular study, they did have electroencephalograms, EEGs, and it did show differentiating patterns and rhythms and things like that. We know scientifically that psilocybin creates neuroplasticity. We know that already. What we don't know is whether it increases productivity, stimulates mood, stimulates your sexual appetite, any of that stuff that they're claiming that microdosing does. We don't have any scientific proof that it works. Unfortunately, set and setting. If you're in this kind of realm, you understand the term set and setting. If you don't have a good mindset and you are not in a positive place, things can go awry very, very quickly. It's very difficult to draw conclusions on microdosing because psilocybin, there's just so many factors there's so many variables. In my personal opinion, and what I'm hearing in the scientific community is they're not super duper hopeful about microdosing. I might dare to say that the popularity of microdosing has outpaced the research. Unfortunately, that doesn't speak for a recreational dose because we've got some scientific backbone with that one. But the microdosing, is it placebo effect? Is it just what we tell ourselves? Is it, the positive affirmation of this is going to work? This is going to increase my productivity. It's going to make me feel better. It's going to put me in a better mood. It's going to give me a better sex life. It's going to do all of these wonderful things. And, when you tell yourself something so much, don't you start to believe it? So let me know down in the comments. Let me know if I've missed something. Let me know if there's a study out there that can prove microdosing is, in fact, a-okay. Again, I don't condone any drug use. Please do not open that can of worms or that can of mushrooms. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, find me on Spotify, download and rate there. Love the feedback. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you next week.